You are doing something right now, today, probably within the last few hours, that is actively signaling low confidence to everyone around you. Not occasionally, every single day. In conversations, in how you text, in how you walk into rooms, in how you respond when someone says something you disagree with. And the reason it keeps happening is not because you are weak or unaware. It is because nobody has ever specifically pointed at it and said, that thing, that exact behavior, is the reason people are not fully respecting you. I am going to do that right now. And by the end of this video, you will never unsee it. The behavior is this. You are constantly explaining yourself to people who never asked for an explanation. Let that land for a second. Think about the last time you were late to something. What did you say? Not just, sorry I'm late. You gave a reason. Traffic. Work ran over. You lost track of time. Now think about why. Did the other person ask? Probably not. You volunteered it automatically, immediately, without thinking. Or think about the last time you said no to something. Did you just say no? Or did you attach a reason, then a backup reason, then a slight apology, then a reassurance that you would make it up to them somehow? Or think about the last time someone questioned your decision, even mildly, and you immediately launched into a full defense before they even finished their sentence. This is the behavior. Constant, automatic, unsolicited self-explanation. And it is one of the most powerful signals of low social confidence that exists in human interaction. Here is exactly why it destroys how people see you, and this is the psychology part that most people have never heard explained this way. In social psychology, there is a concept called Justification Seeking Behavior. It describes the pattern of offering reasons, explanations, and defenses for your choices and actions without being asked. On the surface, it seems like transparency, like you are being honest and open and considerate, but what it actually communicates is something completely different. When you constantly explain yourself, you are revealing that you are not sure your decisions will be accepted on their own merit. You are pre-defending yourself against a judgment that has not even been made yet. You are essentially saying, I am not confident that I am allowed to do this, so here is why it is okay. And the brain of the person listening to you picks that up instantly. Not consciously, they do not think this person lacks confidence. They just feel it. They register a slight drop in how much authority they assign to your words. And over time, with repetition, that drop accumulates into a pattern, a quiet, unspoken sense that you are someone who needs permission to exist in your own choices. Here is where it escalates, and this is the open loop I need you to hold in your mind as we go deeper. The more you explain yourself, the more you train the people around you to expect explanations. And once that expectation is set, silence becomes suspicious. Your decisions start to require justification not because people are demanding it, but because you have conditioned them to wait for it. You have built a dynamic where your authority over your own life is implicitly on trial every time you make a choice. Now watch how this shows up in specific situations, because this is where you are going to start recognizing yourself. The first situation is declining requests. You say no to something, and immediately follow it with 3 sentences of context. I cannot make it because I have this thing, and then I need to handle that, and it is just a really busy time right now. The other person was fine with the no. The explanation communicated that you were not. The second situation is disagreeing with someone. Someone states an opinion, and you have a different one. But instead of stating yours directly, you spend the first 30 seconds softening the disagreement. I totally see your point, and you might be right. I just kind of feel like, maybe, by the time your actual opinion arrives, it has been so thoroughly cushioned that it carries 0 weight. You disagreed. But you communicated that their comfort with your disagreement mattered more than the disagreement itself. The third situation is being questioned. Someone asks why you made a particular choice, even in a completely neutral tone, and your nervous system goes into defense mode. Your answer is longer than it needs to be, more detailed than was requested. and ends with a slight upward inflection, like a question, because some part of you is checking whether your answer was acceptable. Each of these moments, individually, means nothing, but as a pattern, as the consistent texture of how you move through interactions, they create a picture. And that picture is of someone who does not fully trust their own right to act, decide, and exist without external approval. Now here is what high-confidence behavior actually looks like in these exact same situations. And this is where the shift happens. When you decline something with confidence, you say, "I cannot make it," and then you stop. Not because you are being rude, but because your decision does not require a trial. The other person's potential reaction does not have authority over your choices. You are not withholding information. You simply do not owe an unsolicited explanation to every person who might be inconvenienced by your boundaries. When you disagree with confidence, you say, "I actually see it differently," and then you state your view directly, without pre-apologizing for it. The other person's comfort with your perspective is their responsibility, not yours to manage, before you have even spoken. When you are questioned with confidence, you answer the actual question, not the imagined version that requires full statements. If someone asks why you chose something, give them the core answer in 2 sentences. And stop. If they want more, they will ask. And if they do not ask, their silence is not disapproval. It is just the end of the conversation. Here is the practical drill that will start breaking this habit within 1 week. Every time you feel the impulse to explain yourself, pause. Ask one internal question. Did they ask for this explanation? If the answer is no, say nothing. Let your decision stand on its own. Let the silence exist. Let the slight discomfort of unexplained choice sit in the space between you and the other person. That silence will feel like danger at first. Your nervous system will interpret it as social threat. But it is not danger. It is just a new standard. The standard that your choices are self-evidently valid and do not require a defending attorney every time they are exercised. Do this consistently, in small moments, for 7 days. Notice what changes in how people respond to you. Not dramatically, subtly. You will start to feel it. The slight shift in how seriously your words are taken. The way conversations start to have a different texture. The way you begin to feel, internally, like someone whose decisions belong to them. Here is the deepest layer of this entire pattern. The reason you over-explain is not a habit. It is a memory. Somewhere, probably early in your life, you learned that your choices needed justification to be safe. That unexplained decisions created problems. That the way to avoid conflict, disappointment, or disapproval was to explain yourself thoroughly enough that nobody could object. That strategy worked then. In that environment, with those people, at that age, it protected you. But you are not in that environment anymore. And you are still carrying the defense mechanism of a person who needed protection that you no longer need. Putting it down is not about becoming careless or cold. It is about recognizing that the threat it was built to protect against is gone, and that the habit it created while it kept you safe then is costing you authority, respect, and presence right now. You do not need permission to make decisions. You do not need approval to hold positions. You do not need to pre-defend yourself against judgments that have not been made. You are allowed to just exist in your choices, in your boundaries, in your perspective, without providing the world with a running explanation of why you are allowed to do so. That is the layer this video was built to reach. And if it found the part of you that needed to hear it, you already know what to do next. Subscribe to Power Layers, because what comes next is going to go even deeper into the invisible behaviors that are shaping how the world responds to you every single day. I will see you in the next one.